Once again, this is Brian, and he's going to be speaking to you guys next about
other concerns.
more about the association.
The association.
So Brian Malvey, nice to meet you all. I live on Provincetown with my wife Darby, and my kids are over here playing somewhere.
Be louder.
I will be louder. So my goal with speaking to you today is to let you know what we are, what we aren't, and how we plan to help your community. But first, I want to do a little activity. Everyone raise your hands if you know the names of your next door neighbors. Wonderful. Keep them up if you know the names of your neighbors 2 houses down. 3 houses down. My hand goes down. All right, we still got some hands up. 4 houses down. Anybody? Over here. Wonderful. We got one over here and over here. All right, keep your hands up if you know what everyone in that household does for a living. Wow. We have, okay, you get a trash picker upper thing over here.
Thank you.
Wonderful. Oh, you too? Wonderful. Feel free. They're free anyway. So I don't know that, and I'm a little bit ashamed of that. But it's incredibly easy to become isolated these days. I'm not on social media, mostly because it makes me anxious, and it honestly feels sometimes like a path towards negativity, and I can't do that because it puts me in a spiral. But things like this, reaching out to community members and having civic engagement in a real face-to-face way, this is how you become less isolated. This is how you become a community, how you meet your neighbors, how you build a good environment for which to live, for families and kids, and that's what we're here about. That's what we're here to do. So when Lisa and Lou pitched this idea of a civic association to me, I jumped on board right away. My wife Darby and I, we used to live over in Haddon Township. They had a civic association, and it was adorable. It was very, very small and not super organized, but they did the 4th of July parade. They had a civic center where we would vote. They had some events, and every time we went out to the events, we met a new neighbor, and it just, oh, you're at least, you good? She's good. Let's give her a round of applause. All right, and it really is those events that make it feel like a community, and that's what we want to do. So what is civic association? First, as Lou mentioned, civic associations provide local advocacy. So they're a single voice for local government, for speaking up about concerns about things like potholes and safety and things like that. Anything that needs to go up to the local government, we can be a single voice for, and we can collect information and go as a single unified voice and advocate for our towns, Haddon Town and Crescentwood. They are community builders. They do those block parties, those neighborhood picnics, those yard sales and things like that, which I know I love. Beautification. We're looking, civic associations usually focus on things like planting flowers at the entrances and rain gardens and things like that, and information sharing. When I had to ask Lou what they were doing over here, I didn't know what they were doing. So I don't know if you all did. I didn't know that was a drainage thing. But it would be great if we had a single point in the community where we could share information and we can reach out to each other. I assume I'm not the only one who did not know. So, right, we're not an HOA. I'm not going to cover that again because that's what Lou just went through. There's no mandatory anything. If you want to join, we do have membership dues. That price right now is $24 a year. The board will get to decide whether they want to keep that price or not. That just gets you the status of being a member, of voting for the next board and things like that. But anyone who does not want to become a member, if we have an activity, everyone in Haddon Town or Crescent Woods is always invited to our activities. You do not need to pay to be a member to come and join us. You can even sign up and get information from us without becoming a paying member. Really, the only thing becoming a paying member does is show your support and give you access to voting for whoever is going to be on the board. Does not go into our pockets, and I'm going to go into that. Yeah.
Of the neighborhood. It goes
Yeah.
towards the, the parades and the organization of the yard sale.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure you guys do that.
It's okay. I'm getting there, Lou. So I know there are other towns that have civic associations, and they're either very large or they peter out and they go away after a couple of years. We wanted to come up with an approach that will allow us to have some longevity, to have a process for what happens when the current board members step aside. And so that's why we went to New Jersey, the federal government, and we officially have been awarded a 501c3 nonprofit status. So that's a big deal for us, and I'm very proud of that. And what that means is we're not winging it. We have bylaws, we have a formal process, we're going to have a formal board that's going to hold regular quarterly meetings, we're bound to operate by our bylaws in a transparent way. That is with funding, with all of our events, with all of our communication. There's going to be some strict guidelines on what we can do as an association, and how our board is selected and how they transition and all that stuff. So, but it also means practically we're eligible for grants that can supplement our goals, and that can be huge. I have a paper over here with grants where if we were to succeed in getting the maximum of those grants, it's $35,000 for a year that we can use towards things to make our community better. Things like shade trees and community solar and just cleanup projects and rain gardens and pollinator gardens and things like that. Anything and everything there's a grant for, and because we have this 501c3 nonprofit status, we're typically eligible for that. Being a 501c3 also means we have to focus on events and activities that benefit our community. We can't do anything to sway public opinion on a single political party or anything like that. We cannot step outside of the bounds of our bylaws from a legal perspective. So we have bounds, we have scope, we have process, and it's all in place, and it's all in the bylaws that are right over there on that table. But it also means that we are a volunteer group. And the three of us, Lou, myself, and Lisa, we can't do this alone. So what we need is buy-in. We need, what we're here to pitch to the community is that this group is worthwhile, and it is something that can help our community grow and help bring people together. And so Lisa's going to talk about committees that could potentially happen once the board is selected. We're going to talk a little bit later about how a board will be selected. There is currently a nomination process ongoing and will be ongoing for the next 2 weeks. Then there's going to be a week of voting where we can send out a Google form, or if you want, you can vote in person. We're trying to come up with our first board, get buy-in and all of that. But we can't do it alone. So we need the buy-in of the community. What we've done here is to try to set a foundation, right? We did all the paperwork, we did all the legwork to get things started. And if you're all interested, we can build on that foundation to make a real legitimate organization that we can leverage into the future. And I hope you're excited. I'm excited. I'm excited to see what we can build. I'm going to pass the mic to Lisa.